We're in? Yeah?
Hood down or hood up?
Are we all okay?
Everyone's fine. This is the Furfur Bill. Take Ian.
TFR.
TFR.
out.
Nice.
You and I.
That's that. Hood down.
Hood down?
Yeah, I think so.
Shut
It doesn't
the
suit you.
seagulls.
Luke, it's not for you. It's not for you. That. I'm not allowed to say the word. That's fine. This is number 49. This is the FIFA Ramble. This is TFR. You've joined us today. We're going to keep it tight, but we're also going to keep it loose. We're going to buzz through numerous topics. Are we going to plunge straight right in with the Premier League?
Go on then.
Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Do you want to even bother
Let's
with Man
plunge.
United? Do you want to even bother Man
Do you know
United?
what, we
Brighton? Do you want to do that?
What we
'Cause
need to
you've-
do is we need to start where the Premier League started, which is in Cardiff.
Are we going there straight away?
And you guys were
I
there.
was
We
I
were
wanted
there.
to do that later on, but okay, we can do
Go
it right
straight
now.
in with that.
You
First
wanna
game
do
in the
that?
Premier League, we'll do that first straight
That
away.
was good, that wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
Did you
good.
like that? Well, unbelievably, Cardiff City in the Premier League and played Newcastle their first home game, and we were actually there. We were privileged enough to be in partnership with Big Moose Coffee Co.
Big Moose Coffee Co. inviting us down.
Got that going on, and we both saw the game.
We
What
did.
did you guys think of it? You guys were there.
We were there.
We were
there.
actually
What was
there.
your,
I think
what was
it's-
your opinion of
I love
Cardiff?
seeing Cardiff in the Premier League, so I've got no bones about seeing that. Defensively, Cardiff City were very solid, highly successful in dealing with any physicality and staying in the middle of the park, still throwing tackles in. That level of commitment was there. They really struggled for anything up front. Big Ken Zahore, as good as he is, he's a Nubian prince in my eyes. He's brilliant. They need something. They need to finish it, and it's highly evident that there needs something more up front. No matter how good Big Ken was up front, and everyone likes his work and really hassles the defence. There's just something missing up front, and the plus point is Josh Murphy's performance, which got
Yeah,
lots of
definitely.
credit, and that's a way to
He's
start
really good.
a
He was
career
really good.
to come to this team from Norwich and to actually make an impact like that is. Like, that should be your best day in terms of kicking on, and that's going to give them a hell of a lot of confidence. So they were caught unawares. There's something lacking up front, and there's something lacking in the back as well. Now, look, Etheridge had a cracking game, but still his calling,
He
his
had a decent
communication
game, didn't he?
with the back four is just not good enough, because he should command his box more. And there were times and time again, if Sol Bamba was not a dominant force there, then they will get caught short. That's what I fear about Etheridge, even though, let's face it, come on, he had a cracking game because of the save that he
the
made
save
through
at
the
the
game,
end.
as
The
well as
save
that.
at the end was the one that
But you
put
will
the cherry
just
on the
get
cake.
punished if
His
you are that way.
distribution was horrendous, though. But that's part of the problem with Cardiff, in my opinion.
That is, so there's two fundamental elements there. There were some rays of sunshine throughout. One of them was in the middle of the park.
Yeah.
Which was Harry Arter, who was
Harry
my
I think
who's
the lad,
my
yeah, I
captain.
mean, he's a good addition, and he put himself about, and a lot was made about one of those particular challenges. But he gives them something that he gives them experience in the Premiership, but he also gives them something a bit different from what they had. I mean, yeah, I think you touched on the points really that came across to me, not being up close and watching it, but watching it at home. But certainly, I think that they're gonna have more teeth up front.
66 minutes in and being a man down, you have to capitalise on that, because
right.
they almost got caught short.
I know.
And I love the fact that Cardiff City didn't held their own for the entire game, but
Yeah.
against any other team in the Premier League teams that you play, you're going to get absolutely ruined, and they almost did, caught them down by a really unlucky penalty. But the commitment levels were
It's that old adage, isn't it? You should make the advantage count when you can, and there's always going to be, teams will always have that opportunity, whether it's a set piece or whether it's a penalty or whatever. So make the advantage count, and Cardiff were the better side for pretty much the whole game, but they didn't look that threatening, and they nearly got caught out. But the plus side is they're on the board, and they got a point. So
They got a point. My issue with them, it was when they had that extra man, deciding to play him at centre back is a horrendous decision.
You can see the penalty
Keeping
save
that
as well
extra
on
defender on.
our Instagram page, the FIFA.
You
Ramble
can
TFR.
indeed. But yeah, I thought it was overall. I thought it was actually a really good game. I thought
That's a little breakdown.
John Joe Shelby was the
class
highlight
above.
of the game.
Yeah,
for
he
me.
was. He was great.
Watching him,
why wasn't he taking not just the penalty, but why wasn't he taking the free kick?
Yeah.
Like 2 minutes before.
Yeah.
Why was he not
John
taking it?
Shelby
I just thought he's
is-
going to bury this in the top corner, and then Kennedy takes
He's
it.
one of the most underrated players in the Premier League, and he was superb.
He was. He's really got
He
his
was
head screwed up.
unbelievable.
Kennedy, it's really harsh, and he probably should have been sent off for the kick out, which we all see, and I can't.
Yeah.
He's right under the ref's nose, literally. I think he has to take responsibility. Rafa was livid.
Yeah, he wasn't happy.
He was livid.
I thought, though, him standing up to take the penalty actually was quite brave.
Look,
it was.
It's really harsh.
He should have been off. He hasn't had a good
I did
game.
respect him actually for taking it, but
and it's a last-minute penalty. You've had an awful appearance. You've had a dreadful game, and you should have been sent off. 90th minute, I'll take this, lads.
Yeah.
But then apparently,
Stepped up.
when Rafa Benitez was at Liverpool, he would give you at the start, if there's any penalties, he's taking it.
He's taking it, yeah.
And then one day, someone took it off. I can't remember who it was.
It was Bellamy.
Bellamy, that was it.
Bellamy took it off. I don't know
Yes,
who the normal
crazy.
taker is, and he got fined.
And he got
didn't
fined for it because he was like, you weren't the penalty taker. So you're getting fined for it.
So yeah,
So
what do
who's
you want to discuss next? Because that was my
Let's
move on.
rant
I think we move on to briefly touch on what month is it?
August.
It can't be August because Harry Kane scored.
It's happened. It's happened.
I
It
know.
can't be August, but
It
he did.
just proves the
Let's
smoothness of Spurs' approach. It's like, hey, I don't need anyone else. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Listen,
I'm
I mean,
getting isolated.
we
I've got Harry Kane
joked
on good
about it.
day.
We joked about it, but you
Tricky.
know, it was only in jest, really. About, I mean, Harry
Oh, we were
Kane
only-
was
we were only
always,
jesting.
yeah, we were, yeah. But I mean, it was interesting. I thought this game because, you know, a lot's been made of Spurs not making any signings. First club to never make a signing window. You know, Poch is you know, I guess it's Poch or Levy are of the opinion that, you know, if they're not going to improve the squad, then let's not go out
I
and
think
buy
that's
something for the
true.
sake of
There's
it.
also the element
because they've
though,
been
with-
stung by that.
With
time
Levy,
before.
there's also the element of it's the same with Woodward. There's certain chair or chief executives who look at it and go, "There's no value in the market."
Yeah.
Because they don't want to spend over a certain amount of
Especially
money.
Levy.
They
No.
look at contracts left, how many years left on a contract, and wages they're being offered, a fee, and it's all taken into account. And if it doesn't match their balance sheet, even if
And they
they've
won't
got the
do it.
money, they won't do it.
But
And,
I think Spurs. I mean, all I was going to add to that was that I think in the past, I mean, particularly last season when the Spurs were trying to settle into playing at Wembley, you know, they have dropped points at home under Poch's reign as well at the start of the season to lesser sides. I mean, I think they started last season with a draw with Burnley, a loss to Chelsea, and they've got that in them as they look to sort of find their feet in the league. And actually, I think 2 wins out of 2, they were made to work at it in Newcastle. They were made for parts of this game to work at it. Fulham really tested them at times, but they got through. And I think, you know, it's a reminder though that in spite of not strengthening their squad, they've still got some quality, and they did have a strong squad that they strengthened last season as well. So good signs, I think, for Spurs.
Is Kieran Trippier world class?
Not yet.
Ooh.
Not yet.
Come on, the free kick again. The assassin, the baby-faced assassin. They call him down there.
He's on a good path, I'd say, but I don't think he's world class yet.
Strong words. Proved it.
He's not because
Proved
he's a defender. For me, weirdly, I just think he's not
He's
world
so
class.
defenderist.
He's not Cafu, that's all I'm saying. No, he's close. Should we move across London?
Should we do that?
Let's do it.
Across London?
Yeah, why not?
Which part of
Not
London?
really across. We're going a little bit.
We hammering it
Little
down
bit
or are we
across.
going Arsenal?
No, we're hammering it down. We're going to West Ham.
What is
if
going
we
on
have
at
to.
West Ham, Luke?
Right. Yeah, what is happening at West Ham? Because I just can't.
You know,
work it out.
we were just saying about how shrewd that Daniel Levy is or Poch is to get the right people.
Yep.
In. Yeah. What you think of the opposite?
Yeah, we're in
and that's what
opposite
West
city
Ham
now.
is.
Yeah.
It's,
That's what West Ham is. That's what happens. Okay.
Now-
whoa! We'll just buy someone and we'll give
They've
them those
signed some good
wages.
players, this is the
The only
problem.
one I agree with is like the Arnautovic one. Manoni, Manoni, Fabianski.
Mm-hmm.
That was decent. And who's the striker they brought in? Who scored last week?
Scored last week, West Ham.
Yeah.
Can't think. My mind's gone blank.
Okay. Well, they're the three that I think of. Anyone else? I don't.
And
know.
Arnautovic got the goal,
Noble.
didn't he?
What's happened to Noble? Used to be the engine room.
Well,
Right.
Getting to see that because I always
I
loved him as a
actually
player.
they're first of all, their transfers. I actually think that Fredericks was really shrewd bringing him in. I think Fabianski was a bit of a mistake in. I can see why they would have.
You got
brought him
Adrian.
in.
he's got,
But they've got
Adrian.
Adrian. Yeah, they've got Adrian.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't think he
understand.
improves them that massively personally.
It's like them signing Joe Hart last season. In that,
He's got an error in
he's
him,
good.
hasn't
But
But you've got
Adrian there.
He's great.
It's like, why did they bring Joe Hart in
What's happened to
last
Marshall?
year to then
Marshall was there,
immediately
wasn't
he goes straight down the pecking order?
To me, I
Adrian's better.
was saying last week, like on their day, their good players are really good, but they're just inconsistent. Even Arnautovic himself can be inconsistent. I think Hernandez can blow hot and cold. I think Fabianski, exactly. He had some great games for Swansea, but he's also prone to the odd error. Zabaleta,
Zabaleta, who
past his prime,
about 18 months past anything close to being in the twilight of his prime.
Are we judging West Ham too soon though?
No,
Absolutely
not.
No, I don't think we are.
I don't think.
I think they're going to struggle.
St. Pellegrini's in there.
You said they were going to go down last week.
Yeah, I'm just devil's advocate.
Just to remind
No,
everyone.
I don't think we are, because I think we all agreed.
You said they would go down.
Yeah, we all said 2 weeks ago that
It's too soon.
they made too many. It's 2 weeks before the season that started. We said, you know what? They've made some awful signings.
Yeah.
Those signings, and I do think there's some better. They've done all right. I think Felipe Anderson is quite good.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. He's good quality. It's
Whether
about-
he will mix.
I mean, I think it's about, and you said Luke before, it's about gelling them together as well. I mean, even the manager kind of
There's
made
no
that
gel.
point as well.
There's no gel.
There's no gel.
But it's not really.
It's not even a mousse.
It's not really the sort of words you want to hear from your manager. It's a lot of new players getting used to playing with each other. I mean, particularly in an era where time is not a manager's friend. How much time are they going to allow before the natives get restless? And it's West Ham. The natives do get restless. So
They do indeed.
Right, we're
Should we move on?
going to take a little quick bus ride just down the road. We're going to just check in to Arsenal and Chelsea really quickly because I know you guys don't want to talk about it, but it's fine. Whatever. I am impressed with the way Arsenal came back into the game and showed some fight and showed some spirit. If they did not do that, then I think there would probably be bloodshed in the Arsenal TV ranks. The one ray of sunshine who we all enjoy watching and seeing his progress. He's a 19-year-old lad. It's Matteo.
Yeah, Guendouzi. Guendouzi is brilliant.
And the show the commitment, I think is exactly the type of signing that Arsenal need
I
and want
think
right
he's
now.
been really good. Yeah, I think he's been a good signing.
And it's one video has been doing the rounds, which stands out to me is the picture of him
banging the ground,
hammering the ground, which could be for theatrical effect to the manager's watching me. Yeah. No, but it was after he actually set up that move in order for Aubameyang to just blaze it over. So that was an integral time, and he knew how important that was. And you've got to love seeing that sort of commitment.
To do that at 19, that shows he's comfortable in his own skin, isn't he? A little bit. Yeah.
No, it was good.
So that's all I got to say on that. Because I don't want to say that.
But another defeat.
3-2. Yeah. But, come on, you're going to lose.
No, that's all we need to say on Arsenal. Was they go into their 6-pointer against West Ham next week?
Relegation dogfight.
Right.
Can you think of, both of you, can you think of anyone harder to face in the first two games?
It's pretty tough. Yeah.
I'm not saying they should go down to that. I think they should go toe to toe. But if you lose those two,
remember the Hurricanes?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I'd rather play. Yeah, the Hurricanes would be harder.
They are champions, apparently. Go on.
do you want to go to?
Let's go to Manchester.
Should we go to Manchester? Which Manchester do you want to go?
Let's go to briefly talk of Man City. Huddersfield.
City, yeah. We're doing it in order. I feel like we've got a good order.
Huddersfield are a hell of a start. We were watching when the 6-goal win. It was like, oh my days, that's a booty.
You just don't get thumped, do you? This is the stage. You don't matter at this stage of the season if you win, because everyone goes, it's only 2 games in. But don't get thumped. It doesn't matter if you lose. If as long as they're close.
We all thoroughly enjoy the work of Alan Shearer, pundit-wise, don't we? He said Alan Shearer was a striker.
Yeah, what
did
he say?
He said that Sergio Aguero is the best striker to grace the Premier
Is
League.
it an interesting one? Is Sergio Aguero the best Premier League
striker? You know how I
striker?
feel about him.
You think he's the best player in the league, full stop?
I think he's the best striker who have played in that league.
Yeah, you said
and his goal record is going to go on.
In the Premier League right now, last season.
One player, he's the player I go to.
Is he the best striker the Premier League's ever seen? Possibly, yeah. I would put he is world class category.
He's still going, and look, he's only 29 or something.
Henry, though, he's quite a good Premier League striker, wasn't he? Henry.
Shearer himself.
Shearer himself.
Third of it.
Yeah. Shearer
I think. What do you reckon? Shearer, Henry. I think
I think
Aguero
he's going to have
counts.
another 2 seasons here, and I think his goal record will far surpass anything.
I'm
So I
going to
think
go
that's what's
Aguero.
motivating.
I'm going to say it. I think he's numero
He's on
uno
team
Premier League
Aguero.
striker.
Team Aguero.
Come
I'm
on.
not saying he's
Come
not.
join us.
I would still say the
Come
best
join us.
Premier League striker. I'm staying on the Shearer best.
Okay.
Although it's very woolly, isn't it? Because on what grounds is he your favourite? It's not on
Do you know what? On what
personality,
grounds
is it?
he's not my favourite? Brighton. That's a link.
Yeah, go on.
Mitch, I got a
Brighton.
question for you.
Yeah.
If I was to say a name, what's the first thing that you say?
Oh, I like
Go on.
names.
Right, I'm going to say this, right?
Yeah.
Glenn Murray.
Evergreen.
Oh, that's the
Oh.
first. That's what you're going to say.
And that is it.
That is it.
Evergreen.
And
Evergreen.
Why
I'd
is
say
just-
he's rolling back the years.
Why is a striker never evergreen and rolling? A defender. Why is he never
Because that's
evergreen
like
and rolling back the years?
Maldini. You would never.
No one ever said when Maldini was good, he had a good performance. They never went, he's rolling back the years.
He might be
'Cause
like
he was still
he
good.
might be a stalwart, but he's not evergreen, is he?
No, it's weird. Defenders, I was thinking about it, because Maldini at 36 or Buffon now at 40,
Yeah.
no one ever says rolling back the years, because Buffon has been consistently
Yeah,
good.
no.
It is-
Maldini was consistently good. So at 36 years old, Maldini
different
was
for
still
goalkeepers
world
though, isn't it?
class.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at 36, he world, it wasn't expected that, he's gone downhill. With
Yeah.
a striker, he scores a goal at 34. They go, look at him rolling back the years.
Yeah,
It's like,
rolling
he's
back
still-
the years.
Yeah,
been
with a
playing.
fantastic finish.
It was
With
a
that
great finish,
No one
and-
has said how good Brighton have been. No one.
They're
Not
really good.
Pip.
Do you know what? Someone else, just briefly.
You're the
on-
first one.
Right, briefly
First
on
one
age.
here.
Glenn Murray is 34 and everyone's banging on about how good he is because he keeps scoring goals, yeah? He's only a year older than Ronaldo. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
No one mentions anything about Ronaldo rolling back the years.
It's the hair, isn't it? Though?
He's like, he only scored 30.
Yeah.
He
It's
only
the
scored
hair.
28 goals last
Sorry
season.
to the follically challenged, but I think
Glenn
it must be
Murray
the...
scores one goal
Glenn
and everyone's
Murray.
like, look at him, he's still going.
He needs
Ronaldo's 33.
He needs a transplant and get down to the tanning salon, and he'll be a bit of gel in that thing, and he'll be fine.
Come back to him as a Glenn Murray
but
statue.
Brighton were really good,
Brighton
and I
were very
thought
Thank you.
United
They were very
making some poor defensive decisions. I mean, it's been said, but I think it just underlines the sort of
We were
problems
watching
at
it,
United
right?
as
We
well.
were watching it, and when Eric Bailey
made that
made
challenge.
that lunge, it's
Yeah,
just
Bailey
like,
won the best.
imagine that team talk at half time, like directed at you. You're Eric, right? You jogging in, yeah? It should have been just 2-1 at the half. And
Yeah.
okay, we can
Back
build
in
on
it.
that. Back in it.
Yeah.
We'll come out swinging. That's excellent. And as soon as Jose sees that, he must have flipped his
If you
lid.
do that in the 17th minute, there's a chance for the manager to move on to something else.
Yeah.
Do it in the 45th, 46th minute.
44th
It's
minute
not,
penalty.
you know.
No.
Well,
Johnny
go on.
Evans always said the worst time he'd ever had as a footballer was when Man City beat Man United 6-1 at Old Trafford. And he was like, and he got sent off. And he was like, I wasn't scared afterwards of the result because we've had bad results before.
Yeah.
But I got sent off and that
They
helped
kicked
them
on. Yeah.
score more goals. He was like, I was terrified of Ferguson coming in, and Ferguson was fuming about him. Just like, we can do with you on the pitch. If it's 3, he was like, just let him have the goal. If it's
Yeah.
3-1, but we've got 11 players, we can do something with it. If it's 3-1 and we've got 10 players, we've lost the game.
And Ferguson was always of the don't get thumped
Yeah.
mentality as well. You were saying earlier about if you're going to lose, but just don't get thumped. And
Yeah,
he
don't get
was-
them because it's a
he-
confidence killer, especially at the start of the season.
Yeah.
And that's where the it's only 2 games doesn't apply, because Huddersfield now, someone which I said would get relegated
Yeah.
this
Ditto.
season,
Yeah.
and they decide
would
to
agree.
come out, got absolutely thumped by, and they can't say, it's the Premier League champions. It is the Premier League champions, but you lost 6-1.
Yeah.
You get the confidence of that now going into next season, and they already don't score goals.
So-
they got outscored by Harry
So
Kane.
co-
this week,
here's a
haven't
question for you, United fan Luke. Brighton turning over United. There's been a lot of talk, obviously, before the season about Mourinho being unhappy, not getting the players that he wanted.
they? Yeah.
Is that must surely affect the confidence even before they've kicked the ball? So we're talking about confidence being affected by results, but surely all the background noise must have impacted on that performance on the pitch,
Oh, yeah,
irrespective
definitely.
of not having the personnel there.
No, definitely.
All the rest
Definitely.
of behind the scenes.
But we talked before about like Jose being let down by the transfers.
He has been. Been let down by the board. That's 100% true. And I also think there's a media spin on trying to spin it back to Mourinho.
Yeah.
Because in the media's eyes, they want Mourinho and because he sells papers, but they want Manchester United more. I genuinely think that there's
It'll
the
just
media
be someone
have
else. Just
spun
wait
it
a
so that
couple of
it's
weeks.
still
then
negative.
somebody in
It's
the
still
seminar.
negative United, but the media have spun it so because of Jose, not because Jose said I want 5 players.
Yeah.
And he got 2.
Yeah.
Because Lee Grant wasn't one of them. Lee Grant was just, they needed a third goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So
English,
they brought him in. And he's English, so he fits.
Yeah,
he fits
exactly.
the bill. He got 2 out of 5 players. And he's got to go back and be like, well, I told you this squad needs improving.
Yeah.
I finished 2nd in the league last year. And he's won the Europa there. He's got a right to come out in his 3rd season and say, I want these 5 players to really go for the title, because that's the progression.
And you've got the neighbours who are spending big and improving their squad.
Yeah.
And
Everyone
they
improved
were
their
first.
squad.
Yeah.
Everyone improved the squad overall. And Liverpool, who were our closest, behind us in that hunt for second, as it were, they've not only improved their squad, they've improved their first team. With Naby Keita and Fabinho still hasn't played yet.
Everyone's still like, who's this?
But that's the danger if you're United manager, especially as you're looking at Liverpool. They've improved their first team and their squad.
When you have a little look at Liverpool and see Jurgen Klopp's passive-aggressive smile beaming back at you, you must be a bit disappointed. Man.
Well, yeah, a little bit. I quite like Jurgen Klopp though. So
who doesn't like Jurgen Klopp?
Even as a United fan, I quite like Liverpool. I've got a lot of respect for him. Talking about Jurgen Klopp. A question that's been bothering me all week is, who are the 3 happiest managers?
I thought Jurgen Klopp was, because
you say he's passive. Yeah, I think he's more passive aggressive than happy.
I think it's that Marco Silva myself, because he's starting a little excitable revolution at Everton.
Yeah, but he does it he's got a very calm demeanour though. I mean, he must be happy inside. I was thinking about this, and I did think Eddie Howe must be pretty happy. So and he does smile a little bit.
I've gone Eddie Howe, I've gone Marco Silva, and then I've gone Klopp just for the comedy value, because it's like, through gritted teeth, I could still kill you. You've done a job for me. You scored a goal, well done. But, I will find you, and I will kill you.
If we're talking Klopp could be angry and happy. He's angry, he's happy, he's furious.
I think if we're talking Premier League, I think one to go up on the happy list would be Hodgson.
Yeah,
I can't imagine Hodgson's so long.
See, that
in the
made me
tooth.
smile. Just mention his name,
because he's so long in the tooth now that he's not even going to be bothered by the defeat. He's going to come home and he's just like, "How'd you do, boy? Oh, we lost." But
the boys really tried.
Just like see him putting like a little briefcase down. We lost.
He was a standout feature of last season, responsible for what's happening.
You know what? He's a good
Crystal Palace.
He's a good, clever man.
He's solid. He's way better than an Allardyce. He's way better.
If we're talking outside the Premier League for happiest managers, do you know who I think would make the cut?
Go on.
Biesla. They're doing well, aren't they?
He must be delighted. So, I mean, I think they've got off to a great start. Really good game last night, Tuesday night, against Swansea. Really impressive. I said.
Can I stop you there?
Yeah, go on.
Are we going straight through to Mitch, our man on the streets?
We're going to Mitch Corner. We're going to
all right.
A championship correspondent.
I just got to say though, this section of the show is sponsored by Itchy Band.
You know where's a good place to listen to a podcast, guys?
No, I don't know any.
No.
In the bath.
Yeah?
You know what makes a bath even better? Itchy Band bath salts. You know what Itchy Band bath salts do?
What do Itchy Band bath salts do?
They make you feel good. They make you smell good. Footballers have a bath.
Yeah,
they use Itchy Band bath salts too. So, the next time you listen back to our podcast, the FIFA Ramble, do it in an Itchy Band bath.
Ooh, that sounds delightful.
Itchy Band bath salts.
Let's hand over.
Yeah, sure. So, we talked a lot about Leeds. Really good game last night. I mentioned Swansea still having a strong team, and Ollie McBurney going to be a handful. So, don't want to say I told you so, but 2 cracking goals, and I expect him to have a good season.
Say it.
I just said it. Yeah. I'm sure that'll get played back at the end of the season when he finishes the league season on 2. But I don't want to. We talked a little bit before about teams who are going to perhaps push for promotion, but I want to focus on a couple of teams struggling at the bottom of the Championship. 2 teams. First of all, poor Steve McLaren. We talked about poor Steve and his cup of tea. We said, don't get thumped. Conceding 10 goals in 2 games. I mean, and do you know
Steve,
what?
Steve, don't get thumped.
Don't get thumped.
But don't lose 4 in a row and concede 10 in 2.
Do you blame the hunter or the arrow?
I blame the string.
Well, I mean, he's whatever you want to blame. He's in a bit of predicament, and his questions are already coming about his position. But the other one I'm really concerned about is Sheffield Wednesday. I know quite a few Sheffield Wednesday fans, and I think they all saw the warning signs come in. Obviously, they got the transfer embargo, but I think the disconnect between the fans and the team and the owners of the club at the moment is becoming more and more pronounced. That's never a good thing. So they're off to a poor start as well. Reading struggling, but the real surprise actually is Bolton at the moment. So unbeaten start.
Yeah, doing really well.
Doing really well. You know, I think they've addressed some of the issues towards the end of the last season that they'd had in the Championship before. Scored a few more goals. And they've strengthened at the back as well. I mean, they signed Jack Hobbs from Forest.
But we know that
it's going to be tight,
marathon.
you know. I don't know. I mean, I think Norwich have been one of those sides that over the last couple of years have been knocking on the door of promotion. Yeah. I just think that there's so many teams strengthening with so much quality at the moment over the summer. You know, I ran through the list of I thought that were going to be up there. I just don't think Norwich are going to be one of them, I'm afraid. I think it's going to be mid-table season finish for them.
If the thing that Norwich have done for marginal gains, have you seen a story about them painting their away dressing room at Carrow Road?
I haven't, no.
What colour? Painted it light pink. And they haven't made the official statement of why they've done it.
Yeah,
they've done it this season, but they've had brand experts involved, and they've said because it's a colour that's thought to lower testosterone levels and make people a calming effect.
Okay.
So yeah, when a team comes to play them at Carrow Road, they'll be in a dusky pink dressing room.
I see.
And it's meant to be a calming effect on the opposition players. So Norwich.
What if they're playing? Say
it's like marginal gains. It's like Team Sky, like Brailsford suddenly.
What if they're playing a side? Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, what if they're playing a side towards the end of the season where it's like a 6-pointer and they're trying to play on the nerves of the opposition, but instead they get calmed and then they.
Yeah.
See, I painted all black. What colour would you paint it? Or like white, like your
dressing room, to be honest.
Yeah, just
try and get away with that one
in the van.
Yeah, that'd be a marginal game.
Yeah, it's quite interesting.
Marginal games.
Right, another one that's actually happening as we speak is Fleetwood. Fleetwood are playing Scunthorpe at the minute away.
How are they doing?
They're winning 4-0.
Who scored?
You're joking me.
Fleetwood are 4-0 up at half time.
Who scored?
Are you serious?
I think I know who scored. Who scored?
Wes Burns scored twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
And some other guy scored the other two.
Some other guy scored. Well,
some other guy.
Interesting because
footballing guy.
Some other guy.
They start with a defeat. I think it was to Wimbledon at home, and since then they've had they beat Oxford. They won against Crewe in the Cup, and I think they drew with might have been Rochdale and it was a last-minute equaliser at home. So from that first defeat, and you thought, not the best of starts for Mr. Barton. Actually, they're 8 or 9 new players that they've brought in with experience. They've gone. I think their policy they came out and said was that we're not going to buy youth because it's the sort of in thing to do. If it improves the quality, we don't care. I think they bought Dean Marnie. He's sort of mid-30s, knocking around 34, I think he is. I mean, so they apparently they held off a bit of competition from Villa and us. I didn't hear that one from Forest. Rumour for that one. I didn't know for Dean Marnie. But anyway, their policy was that they'll just bring in players that they think A is going to be quality. It can play at a high level. B, we don't give a
Is it like
what age they are?
Is it like Amiobi playing at Notts County?
Yeah,
that's what's happening.
Yeah. But, that result, Scunthorpe's not an easy game in that league. In League One,
so that's Lampard doing reasonably well at Derby?
I think there was they needed that win.
It was a big win. Was that his first home win?
No, they won, was it their first home win? Pass. No, I think they won the first home fixture of the season, but they just lost... They lost to Leeds, didn't they, at home? They lost to Millwall away. Do you think
Harry's feeding Frank just some choice words?
Oh, you think he's
he's
got him in the hot seat? Yeah?
Harry at the minute he's on his way down or up to Derby from South Coast, where he inevitably lives, with Bondi driving him, because that's
Bondi, as he's known.
Bondi's driving him up there. He's got the dogs in the back.
Yeah, he has.
Sanders laid out.
He would have seen a win. I think that.
The only thing he hasn't got read out in this guy is his tax return form.
Allegedly.
But yeah, I mean, if it were, whatever you think about how Lampard and whether he should have got that job as his first job in management, I think it was a big win for them against Ipswich. They needed it, and who knows? I mean, that's a club that are probably going to demand at very least playoff football, so the pressure's going to be quite high for a club like Derby, so you will feel it, so you do want to get off to a good start, so I think that was a big win.
Yeah, he's done all right. They're up to 10.
He's done all right. Yeah, it's early doors, isn't it? Championship. It's one of those Championship's one of those leagues that you could be 23rd at Christmas and you'll still be talking, put a run together and we'll make the playoffs. So, yeah.
Guys, what I've done, in your back pocket, there should be a ticket. It's a train ticket. Yeah?
Yeah.
We're about to board.
Hang on.
Where are we boarding? Let me check.
Have a look at the ticket.
Hang on a minute. Hang on.
I'm going to tell you exactly where we're We're just going to pop on
Where are we popping on?
the Trans-Europe Express.
Trans-Europe Express.
Here we go.
Trans-Europe
Here we go. Mine says Cardiff Central.
That's the wrong ticket.
That's the wrong ticket.
That's the wrong ticket.
That's all right then.
Go across the border.
Can we go to Spain first?
I'd love to go to Spain.
Let me just check the ticket.
Yeah. I'm going to Spain this weekend.
Yeah,
so
we can.
Why not
I know it's logical to go to
early?
France next from where we are, but we're not. We're going to go to Spain.
No, it's not.
We're going to go
we need
to
to
Spain.
go down before
Plane to Spain.
Andre Silva. Good game, didn't he?
What of him?
He on loan to Sevilla from AC Milan, and he became the first player to score a hat-trick on his La Liga debut this century.
Unbelievable stat.
That's
a good start,
good news
mate.
corner.
That's
a few good players have played in La Liga as well, so he's done pretty well there, hasn't he?
He's done all right, hasn't he? Right, today there was a meeting, the captains of the La Liga clubs.
Yeah.
They met to discuss the
They're not happy,
proposal that a La Liga
I thought
game
they were
will be
happy.
played in America.
Are they not happy?
They're fuming.
They're livid.
Busquets and Ramos. Imagine them in a room angry.
Is that not going ahead now?
No, it is happening.
It's happening.
It's happening. Them said that they
How
had
are
their
they
meeting
gonna be?
today.
So-
right, basically it's because Relevant, a US media company, have agreed a deal with the La Liga for the next 15 years, and that includes a game of La Liga in America. They don't say what match it will be,
What teams,
anything, or indeed what season.
So it's basically
They
like
haven't said if it will be an annual thing
Surprise.
or just a one-off thing. So
mystery.
literally what's going to happen is in about 6 years' time, Levante are going to play Getafe in Miami.
Well, I mean, you say that, but will it be?
Real
They're
Madrid
going to
say no.
want, but they're going to be pushing for the big teams, and it's going to be a bit of a power struggle.
The thing is the captain's meeting. I like it, and it's pretty. I like the fact that they're
I like
saying.
the meeting.
I'd like to go in.
It's a great meeting. They're saying that they feel marginalised in the decision making and so on, and I agree with all of that. But the fact of the matter is, we all know that if in 4 years' time they got a call and and a US media company, Real Madrid, they want you to play in Miami, no.
Yeah.
Done.
Would you
Finished.
like to
Barcelona. No. We're not going. Bring Getafe.
In that meeting.
I'd love to be
That'd
a
be
fan
amazing.
of it.
Why be a fly on the wall? Just walk in. Just ask if you can go in.
That's true.
Yeah,
You need to be a flyer
Be a
too.
flyer.
Yeah. And why do you need the rest on the wall? Why not fly above
That's the
the
problem
beam?
with it.
Just
Right
walk,
then.
Just go. Excuse me.
Because you're so eager,
You're keen to get to
You're keen
PSG
to get to France.
and France.
Let's-
Oh, I've just met you in Spain.
well,
now.
it's your own fault. You went to
No, we've had to
Nice or
leave. We've
somewhere
been kicked
first,
out of
didn't you?
Spain.
We were in Malaga,
Okay.
and you turned up in Marseille.
You were very happy. Very happy in Malaga.
Right. Talking about a nice place to go in France is Nice.
I hear it's nice.
It is nice.
Nice.
Patrick Vieira took over as manager.
He did
this
not.
season.
Shut up. Shut the front
He's
door.
had a bit of a off start. There's been 2 games in Liga so far this season, and he's drawn one and lost the other.
Should we? Yeah, I mean,
1 point from 2. So he's the problem that Nice have got is last season they had Alessandra Player up front. He's now gone to Leverkusen, and Jean-Michel Seri in midfield,
gone to Fulham.
who has gone to Fulham. That's the
Quality.
the engine and the end product left, and a new manager come in. So look, I saw quite a bit of criticism actually of Vieira, and I was like, forget
Can
that.
he be criticised?
Look at who he's lost.
Yeah.
You know?
Can you
No
criticise
one
him
cares
when
about
you've?
that. That's how they're judging.
Yeah, it's ridiculous though.
He's not been thumped though, is he?
That's it. Do
He's
you
not
think
been-
Terry Henry will be announced as Bordeaux. I think he'll start in the French league.
I think if he starts there, that's the best place for him to go. He's a national treasure, isn't he?
Yeah.
And you can manage in Liga at a reasonable level to get to mid-table reasonably well, develop your craft. You can stay at mid-table if you pick the right squad. Bordeaux, again, they're in the position now where they've lost a massive player this summer. But they're in no danger of dropping out the league. You know, Gomri can get there.
And that's sort of following the footsteps of one Arsene Wenger, who started off in those types of league. And
now you doing your craft. Look at Sarri.
His time at Monaco.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. George Weah. Now president.
Yeah.
Yeah, that news? That's good.
Yeah,
that's good. You think that's good news corner?
Wenger's, he's been on there, didn't he?
He should do.
No, right, that's good news corner.
Yeah, that's done then.
Well, yeah.
Come on then, okay.
PSG.
We all really enjoyed
Buffon.
The Buffon save.
We have to mention it.
We have to. If you haven't seen it, see it. It's a
Buffon
great
save was
rolled back the
unreal.
years, didn't he?
Evergreen.
Evergreen.
Mbappe. Someone who's going to be described as evergreen in about 14 years' time.
Yeah.
It's
14 years, you'll be 25.
If you can come on as a sub and make that sort of impact
Unreal.
straight away.
What a
and
player.
People are comparing him to Ronaldinho.
Ballon d'Or winner
comparing
within
him
3 years.
To Henry. If he keeps maintaining this level, this high, extreme level, playing with sacks of confidence.
It shows you how good of a season he had. But when PSG brought him in on that initial loan, and they said, right, it's a deal worth 60 million now, and then they have to pay 135 million. That is a ridiculous sum. That's 200 million pounds. After they spent 200 million bringing in Neymar, they then bring in Mbappe, who everyone forgot was world class at Monaco, and no one talked about it. Because it was Neymar was the big deal.
Because he's of that age, isn't he? Mbappe is still a risk.
Well, weirdly though, you think they paid a one-off fee, loan fee, which can get written off against financial fair play because it's a loan fee.
Yeah.
So that's done. And then on top of that 60 million, they paid 135 million this summer. Weirdly, that now looks like an absolute bargain.
Yeah, no.
Because if he was still at Monaco, they'd be like, well, Neymar went for 200, so we want 250. He's just won the World Cup and he's like 20 years old. Real Madrid or someone would have come in from this summer if he stayed at Monaco, and it would be double the fee. You're talking 250, 300 million for Mbappe. He's that good. And PSG got him for basically 135.
Can you see him staying at PSG for
a couple of years? I think because he's going to become
why
the star.
Why would you not? Like he's there, he's comfortable.
He's
if he's progressing, he's won the World Cup, and
he's probably at a club that will win the Champions League within 5 years. You know, so it's. And they're building already. They're getting more and more. They brought Buffon in to try and win it this year. That's what they've done.
Yeah.
Talking about bringing someone in to win the Champions League.
Yeah.
Ronaldo.
I was just about to say Ronaldo. Do you know why?
Serie A.
When he scored, he big up when he first scored his first goal for Juve. Who's it for? He went Gigi Buffon.
Yeah.
Oh, in the friendly.
Yeah. First goal.
Good man.
It was
respect.
The game against Chievo was mad.
They had to dig in.
The Chievo game when they were down and everyone.
They went down to 2-1.
There was so much nonsense when they were losing.
And
then there was so much hate straight away for Ronaldo.
But Ronaldo had a good solid, I'd say 7.5. He had a really good game, and Chievo were superb. But Juventus brought it back to 2-2 from a goal which he claimed, and I will forever say came off Leonardo Bonucci's head, although it didn't. But on his first game back for Juventus after a season at AC Milan, to score a header, I don't care. I've seen loads of replays. It didn't go anywhere near his head. He scored it. It went in. It was his will. It was brilliant. Then they scored again, and about 2.5 minutes later, the game was stopped, and they went to VAR and disallowed it.
Yeah.
Keeper went down, and it came off Ronaldo's arm apparently. So it was 2-2. They scored again.
Yeah, it was dramatic, wasn't it?
It was a mental game.
It's great to see VAR in this league in comparison to like the Premier League, just to see what actually happened. Like Premier League should have had VAR by now. They should.
No, they will. It'll happen. They should be straight from the World Cup.
I think they were saying on I was on a well-known football highlights show on BBC late at night. They were saying it feels weird to not have VAR. I think they were right. After the World Cup, it feels strange when something happens in the Premier League and then you're like, oh, yeah, there's no VAR.
VAR is like David De Gea when he first signed for United. No one understands how good it is yet. Just give it time.
Yeah.
You know? Give it time. because he was brilliant.
But also, to not stray too far from our home in Italy as it is at the moment, but VAR is when people have a little dig at VAR, it's not VAR. The system's not wrong. It's how people are using the system, judging the system.
That's what we've discovered through the World Cup, didn't we?
You know,
that's exactly how it is.
Yeah.
So it's just how it's.
It can't be wrong.
Yeah.
No, it's not wrong.
It's a recording of what happened.
Yeah, I'm messing up the game completely.
VAR's wrong. It can't be wrong. No. It's a recording of the game.
You're missing the point.
Yeah. You know. But anyway, there we are.
Can we briefly, because I'm very aware of the time. Can we go from Italy to Good News Corner? And can we end on
Let's end on some really positive news.
I want the most positive news
to
finish on.
Right, David Silva's
son.
David Silva's son, Matteo, who was born 25 weeks premature. We all know David Silva had to take time off last season, and Man City just said, you go and be where you need to be. And he kept flying in for a game, and then he disappeared for 3. And it was because his son was basically, he was told he was fighting. He could die any day. He didn't. And against Huddersfield, he was their mascot.
Fantastic.
And he was brought out onto the pitch by David Silva. That was one of the best moments.
Man City know how to do relations, don't they?
Yeah, brilliant. It's everything.
Great touch.
They've developed so much from a game where
win-win-win.
When they first took over the club, Mark Hughes' Man City were losing to Ostersunds in the UEFA Cup qualifying game. And look where they've come now. The other bit of Good News Corner, Ajax player Appy Nuri, who went down in a pre-season friendly last year, July 2017, against Werder Bremen, was unconscious. He was put into a medically induced coma because he's got permanent brain damage. Has started responding to like his family when they ask him a question. He can distinguish 2 separate movements. One's opening his mouth, one's lifting an eyebrow between yes and no. So you can answer yes and no question. So his brain is starting to fire again.
Fingers crossed.
Incredible.
Fingers crossed.
Was I the only one then to try moving both eyebrows?
No.
Yes. Which one's yes and no?
No, one's the eyebrow and then one's...
right, okay. Well,
yeah,
good news.
So
good news.
That's good news.
I think Good News Corner is a good place to...
Good place to finish.
Yeah.
Splendid.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening very much.
On all the socials, see all of the nonsense on there. The
FIFA
Ramble,
at
TFR,
the FIFA Ramble,
at the FIFA Ramble.
The FIFA Ramble.
Do all of that.
TFR.
Do all of that. See more of this. Do that. Just do that, and then all the other stuff. The
like
FIFA
on
Ramble.
YouTube.
Yeah, do
TFR
or
podcast.
not. It's up to you. But we're going now. Sponsor.
Guys, have you ever had that feeling where you just go, do you know what? I've had enough kids. I've had enough.
All the time.
I've got all the kids that I need. If anything, I've got extra than what I need.
So what's needed there? What can you do?
Blank shot post-vasectomy underwear is what's needed.
Is that your favourite brand?
It's my favourite brand. It keeps you tight.
Yeah. And it stops the kids.
It stops the kids. So if you think I've had enough kids...
Where can I find these?
Internet. Mainly the dark web, but they're branching out. Blank shot post-vasectomy underwear.
.com?
.nz at the minute.
What are
it's
called?
a long story.
What are they called again? I'm
Blank
going to check them out.
shot post-vasectomy underwear.
Okay. I will look into them.